go live because I really enjoyed it yesterday. I had a good time going live and I thought, why not just do it again? So I just got done recording another video about going out alone, getting away from online dating, getting out into the real world for organic meets, whether you're going out by yourself or with a friend, because I know that this is something that some women are wanting to do. So that is something that I've just recorded another video on, and I'm excited to get that one out. So yeah, right, let's get into this introduction so that it's not boring for people when they're watching this not in real time. Now, today I wanted to discuss how you're being treated. Now, in terms of treatment in a relationship or being treated in a dating situation, these are things that for me are very important, and I feel like it's not really spoken about so much. Lots of the times when people are speaking of romantic relationships, you hear them make references to looks and how important looks are and whatnot. Hi Sophie, thank you for being in here. So it makes you really think about, why are we putting so much value on the way that men look, on muscles, on some 50 pack abs or something? These things are not important in the slightest, and the way that somebody is treating you is very important. And I have actually just got done watching the on Netflix, the well, I don't even know if I want to say it, the OJ the OJ documentary. And I thought, you know what, I really do have to speak about treatment that women are having sometimes, because it's something that isn't really full on spoken about, and we don't want to end up being like victims of certain things in any way, shape or form. And hi Rabs, welcome back. You were in here yesterday. So I think I'm back. Welcome, thank you for joining me, ladies. So that's why today I wanted to really speak about treatment in romantic relationships, when you're dating, getting to know someone, and also of course when you're in a full-blown relationship with them, because how you are being treated affects your overall happiness, your quality of life. Even your health can be impacted if you are unhappy mentally with things going on. And Royal Sparkle, hi, welcome, thank you for being in here. So it's really about making sure that you're making the right choices when you're dating. And there are so many moving parts when it comes to a romantic relationship, right? So many moving parts, so many things that you that would interest you, or that would make you want to get to know someone, or to give a man the time of day. But you have to look at key actions that he's doing and how he's treating you, because these things are going to be indicative of how things will go later on. And there's always something that, let's say you get into something with someone, like you start dating them, and they show you one little part of their personality that you just really don't like. Just, it could be like a fleeting like comment that they've made, or the way that they've looked at you at one point. Later on, this will come up and will be a pattern. And this is something that I have noticed, that I have come to realize. And you have really got to make sure as a woman that you're using discernment, that you are paying attention to patterns, and you're not dating anybody who isn't treating you the way you want to be treated. This is something that is so important. The worst thing is to end up in a precarious situation and not be happy, right? This is like the worst thing, and something that you just really do not want, or even something that's a dangerous situation. So going by how can we like avoid this? How can we avoid being in a romantic situation with somebody and not be treated how we want to? Well, we get our standards going and we just don't drop them. And you have to become the kind of woman who is okay with saying goodbye. That's what you actually have to do. You have to become that kind of woman. And I know that we're kind of taught to stick things out and, you know, be in it for the long haul and X, Y, and Z. But I don't think this is right. I think that the moment somebody isn't treating you the way you want to be treated, the moment you feel, I mean, definitely if you're feeling nervous about them or something, but the moment you're not being treated the way you want to be treated, someone isn't speaking to you nicely, or you're just not having the kind of relationship that you felt like you were getting into, you speak up and you say something. And if nothing happens or if it's more severe, then you just exit. You just leave. You just leave. Or you speak up and you say something. I think we're definitely taught that good men are hard to come by, and there's just so much rubbish that is kind of put out, I would say, for women or like younger women to just eat up. And you grow up feeling a certain way about good men are hard to come by. You have a good one there, you better hold on to him, or this, that, and the other. Hi girly, thank you for being in here. I think that it's definitely about us putting ourselves first. The men will follow suit. Put yourself first, he will follow suit. Okay, because this is what it's about. It's about us, and it's about us being happy, and it's about us putting our best foot forward, our happiness first and foremost, and just everything being about us and our happiness. Because what you don't want to do is being in a situation and it's all about the person that you're with. I feel like you want somebody who's going to want to pour into you, pour into your relationship, treat you with respect, speak to you nicely, and be delicate with you as a woman. And if you're having the opposite of that, for me, it's just not good enough. It's just not good enough. And honestly, coming off the back of watching that OJ documentary on Netflix, I said to myself, no, no way. Because for me, I'm very like, I feel very protective over women being in relationships, maybe not being treated right, and not even to like the extent of like an abusive relationship, but even in terms of just not fully having what was portrayed in the beginning, that they were dating initially in the dating stages. It's all fun and you're going out, you're doing things, and then afterwards it just kind of stops. I feel like if you're getting into something, that's the way it should continue, and I'm all for that. And I think that the moment that things start changing, you're not happy in a dating or a relationship situation, you've got to voice it and say, look, this is what I would like to happen, and that's what I think. So, oh my god, hey Ziva, hey girl, thank you for being in here. So that's what I think, that's how I feel. And women have got to get okay with voicing what they want in relationships. You've got to be okay with saying, baby, this is what I want, this is what I expect, this is what I need, this is it. And you've got to get okay with saying that and be prepared for somebody to say no or to walk away from you. And you also have to be prepared to walk away from someone else. In my earlier days, like before I started my femininity journey, I was of the view that I've been in this relationship for 2 years. I have invested 2 years worth of time, so I need to stay in this because I've already wasted or spent this much time. But when you actually start using your brain cells, you realize that no, you've spent this much time, so you shouldn't spend even more time, right? And it's about us changing those conditions and the mental kind of puppet strings that we have been that have been used on us, because we really have to change the way that we're looking at things, the way we're looking at relationships, the way we're looking at men, and also the way we're looking at ourselves, because we have to put ourselves first on a pedestal, and the man you're with is secondary. So exactly, and the right man will say yes. I definitely believe that. I believe the right man will say yes to things that you're wanting, things that you're asking for, and grant you the kind of life that you're wanting, whether it's whatever that is, whatever that looks like for you. I think that there is someone out there for everybody. And also I do think that sometimes we have to make sacrifices with what we're wanting. You might want 10 things and you might end up with someone who has 7 of them, you know? So you have to decide, excuse me, you have to decide what are the most important things, what am I kind of not prepared to not have, and move accordingly, choose accordingly. But one thing that I think is just totally non-negotiable is the way that somebody is treating you. And this is something you have to be firm with and really have boundaries, be direct. And as soon as you're not being treated how you want to be treated, as soon as somebody is saying something, not backing it up with actions, not doing what they say, you have to confront it. And if you don't want to confront it, then just leave, as in exit. Because we just don't need to put up with rubbish. This is something that women are not really taught. We're not taught that. We're not taught it. We're not taught it at all. If we went, let's say for instance, like online dating, I think there are lots of women who ghost. I think probably online dating, more women are ghosting than men. But when it comes to, and this is because lots of profiles are like fake, they're over there in you know, different countries, and there are lots of things going on online dating profiles, okay? But when it comes to the real world, real life, predominantly if you went into a forum, men are going to be ghosting women more. Okay, this is something that happens, and especially when women are going into the bedroom early. This is another thing that women are kind of like conditioned to be doing, and every single film you watch, there's a romance scene. Every single like series you're watching, there are love scenes, there are this and that, sexualizing of women. I feel like it's building women, it's building things up so that men are kind of seeing women in a use and then leave light. And to avoid this, okay, to the best of your ability and to protect yourself as a woman, it's about realizing that and moving accordingly. So not getting into the bedroom. Wait. You know, it's not something that you need to jump into. It isn't. You don't need to jump into that. So you wait. It's about having your standards, not tolerating anything that is less than that, not putting up with rubbish, okay? Not being with someone, sticking around for years when they're giving you all of this and never walk the walk. So I think in essence, for us as women, it's just about us really having those standards and just not dropping them. And something that The guy, well, that I spoke of, you'll see this soon in a video, but we were speaking about like dating and age ranges and things, and he said to me that most of the time men are dating to have like arm candy when they're in their 50s and when they're middle-aged, right? And most of the time, women are doing that when they're younger. So, like 20s and 30s, women are wanting to date someone who's really attractive and whatnot. And as men get older, they want to do that. So, we kind of do it in reverse. This for me was very eye-opening because I didn't actually think of it like that. I kind of always thought of it as though men are always the ones who are really wanting that, but really it is women as well. And it just opened my eyes that what we have to do is go by how is someone treating me. This is the most important thing, first and foremost. Okay, how are they treating me? Because it's about your safety, your emotional well-being as well, in terms of not emotional, like mental well-being. Because when somebody is not really good for you or they're making it a negative space for you, it's just not a good environment. And I just don't think that this is something that is really fully spoken about. So yeah, let's make sure we are going off of how is somebody treating me? Do I feel safe around this person? Okay, not putting yourself into precarious situations as well where you're jumping into bed with somebody. No, you need to see how is somebody treating me. Okay, do they care about me? What do they know about me? What are they bothering to get to know? How are they bothering to help me in my life? How do they want to uplift me? What are their intentions for me? Where do they see things going with me? Ladies, a lot of the time you don't realize this, but when men actually approach you, they have an intention for you already, and you don't know what that intention is yet. Okay, so what you must do is observe, see how things are going, see if he is a man of his word, if he is doing what he says. Okay, if he's throwing in some, just saying something to you in the early days that you don't like the sound of, these are things you have to look out for. Okay, because you've got to be careful, you have to keep your wits about you in terms of more, let's just be honest, brutality that can happen, okay, in relationships, but also lesser things, and just in terms of being in a relationship that just is not helpful for you whatsoever, and it's literally a waste of time. We've got to be okay with getting out of it, okay, saying goodbye, not wanting to hold on to something, or not feeling like, oh, you know what, I slept with this person, you know, I've got to continue this on or whatever. No, let's really hold off of that. And this is another thing that because I observe things when I'm watching like programs, when I'm watching films or anything I'm watching. I really observe because I know that sometimes there are messages that are being sent, or some kind of conditioning that it's like we're being fed constantly. And one of those things is honestly the sexualization of women. And you will see it, especially now I've mentioned it, or you probably realize it's in every single thing you look at, everything you watch. It's literally in everything. The clothing that are in stores, even in terms of like younger wear for like teens and younger. It's just, I think we're living in a very strange world, and I think that what we have to do is make sure that we don't feel like we have to succumb to what is constantly being pushed out. We have to make sure that we're women who know what we want, know what we expect, and we just don't settle for anything less than that. And the way that you're being treated by somebody is so important, and I just can't stress that enough. And you have to make sure, even if you're in a situation, you don't feel like, you know, you have any friends, you don't feel like your family care about you, you don't feel like you have anybody, whatever, and you're looking to a relationship to fulfill you, this is also an error. Okay, you have to get right with yourself first. That will help you to make the right decisions when it comes to dating. That will help you to know when to say enough is enough with somebody. That will help you to know when is the right time to move into the bedroom. Or, I mean, we're all adults here, we can discuss this. That will help you to know when to do the same, because there's no more jumping into bed with people, there's no more one night stands. Okay, there's no more not treating yourself like you are the most important thing on this earth. There's no more of that, because ladies, when we're younger, we grow up feeling like we have so much confidence, and then life can happen and it can kind of knock you down. You're watching something and you're used to like, let's say, people sleeping around, or you're pushed, this is constantly pushed out in films, in series, in this, and it's pushed out continuously. And this, for me, is something that I think really shapes the way that people think, and it also shapes their actions and what they're doing. And most of the time it's always things that actually benefit men. Okay, and we need to set this record straight that we've got to start thinking about ourselves, benefiting ourselves, putting ourselves first, our wants, our needs, our safety, our health, our bodies, our well-being, our everything. We've got to start putting that first and foremost. Yes, constant programming. That is what I think. If a man doesn't treat you right, he will never wife you. Yeah. Or he will, and he has the wrong intentions for you. So this is why you really have to pay attention. A few weeks ago, I had a guy talking big game but never came through, so I put him on the chopping block. Yeah, because we just don't have time for it. Okay, we just don't have time for it. And I'm glad that you did that, and that you didn't sit around thinking, oh my god, should I message him, or oh, I wonder why he's not done what he said. Or no, goodbye. And this is where we have to get to, where it's like that self-confidence, because I feel like it's just lacking in lots of women nowadays. We're used to men being flaky, we're used to them ghosting, we're used to maybe being like bedroom and then just get left, or whatever it is. And no, we have to stop this. We have to stop it. We have to stop it. And even in terms of like more serious things, you have to be careful. You have to be careful, and you have to look at this person who you are going on a date with. You really have to watch what they're doing, and really just observe. You have to observe someone, see how they're treating you. Are they coming through? Are they doing what they say they're going to do? Are they being a man of their word? Are they being respectful to you? How are they with other women when you're there? What are they like? Okay, all of these things are going to be indicative of your future with this person. Okay, whether it's 2 weeks, whether it's 2 years, whatever, you need to really look at what they're doing, how they're treating you. You agree? I started putting effort into rotational dating this year, queen treatment only. Okay, Mary Jane. Okay, yes. Speaking of Mary Jane, I have a cute pair of Mary Janes, my burgundy ones, and there's another pair I actually saw that I think I might want to get, but they're they're practically the same as what I have. I just want like a pointy toe pair, but I just don't know if I can find a pair like that. Anyway, Valentine's Day plans. I'll be honest, I'm the kind of person who does think that Valentine's Day is tacky. Like, I think when I was younger, I used to think it was really cute and stuff, but I've not been into Valentine's Day for a very long time. I believe that that should not be the day that someone's like, oh my God, should we go out for dinner or something? That's usually my life anyway. And on Valentine's Day, I'm very happy to do something very low key, but not as in just because it's Valentine's Day. For me, I just find it really tacky. Of course, I think that like a gift is nice or something, but going out and celebrating just to go out for dinner because it's Valentine's Day, for me, I'm just not really into it. Yeah. But I have been asked, of course, to go out, but I think it's tacky. I don't know. I think it's tacky for me. So, who here lives in London? Well, probably not many people. I think most of my subscribers and stuff are actually from the US or whatever. But I felt like I was on a roll and I got distracted by Mary Jane's. Are you still doing online dating and what are your thoughts on it? I'm not still doing online dating. I have stopped that. My thoughts on online dating, honestly, are that you can meet, like, the people who are online are literally the same people in the real world. So for me, I don't see anything wrong with online dating. I don't see anything wrong with it. But I do think that there's an element of online dating that is lacking, okay, which is any kind of romance. There's no romance there. There's no exciting, he saw me and he came over to me and this is what he said and this was what it was like when we looked, you know, when our eyes kind of hooked, or it's nothing like that. And you know, we spent the rest of the evening, you know, we went somewhere else, or we had this to drink, and it's like a real story. It's like, oh yeah, I swiped right and we started talking, we spoke on there for about 4 days, and then we met up and grabbed a cup of coffee. Like, it's just not really the vibe. I think like for me personally, it's just not really like the vibe, you know, in terms of how I would want to be approached. And I think how most women want to be approached, it's not really the way. And it's more for convenience. You can't be bothered to go out the house, set up your profile, and you'll be speaking to somebody within 13 minutes, right? And most of the time, this is what men do. They're swiping yes. This is them swiping yes. Just because the more people they swipe yes on, then the more options they're going to have. And just because you have even been swiped on, it doesn't mean that you're even their type. It doesn't mean that they even really would be that interested in you. And it just doesn't mean that. But I have had success on online dating. I have met great people online dating. I have had good experiences with online dating that have outweighed the negative experiences on there. And so I still kind of rate it, but I just don't think, and especially when, let's say somebody has swiped on you and you go there and you show them yourself in person, you're even better in person. So don't use your filters and all of that rubbish. Just do like regular pictures and not too provocative, but whatever, you know, you need to have like a balance of things. And that's kind of how you do it. So you can still have that wow first impression in person, even if you meet somebody online, but you as a woman are not getting that wow first impression from them. because I think for women, or for myself at least, that's all I can really speak for, is that first initial experience, that first initial introduction, you know, how they have come over to you, you know, this is something that women deserve to experience, and it's something that is a nice experience, and you have a better feeling from it than you do when you've just swiped and you've matched with someone. It's very nice for somebody to actually come over to you, get his butt, turn it around, run over to you, or walk over to you and make his presence known. I think that this is a more romantic way to meet. Whether romance continues or not, who knows? But depending on how he's coming to you, you will know how serious this man is. You will know. You will know, you will know, you will know. And especially if a man sees you in person, he's going to have a gut instinct of what his intention is with you when he sees you in person. And when a man sees you online and they're swiping, they don't have any intention. They're not even looking at your picture. They're probably just, they're watching EastEnders and they're literally swiping. So, yeah. I think online dating is okay to do basically here and there. When you can't be bothered to go out, go online. Why not? Whatever. Go online for an evening on Hinge. Why not? If you don't have any dates lined up, go on there, get a couple, get yourself out there, have some plans for the week. But make sure to take yourself out and try to meet somebody organically. Yeah, yeah, too much access. I think that definitely you're accessible to some men who you don't want to have any access to you whatsoever. But at the same time, these people can approach you on the street, you know? So I don't know. I think online dating is not terrible, but would I want to meet my husband online? I would rather it was in person. I'd much rather that. But like 1 in 5 marriages nowadays are from online dating, so can't be all bad. And I know of 2 online dating success stories. One of them is actually a cousin of mine, and he met his wife online, and they got married literally 3 months later or 4 months later, and they are still very happily married. They're actually so happy and they're really cute together. So things happen. I prefer real life approaches so I can read his energy. Yes. You can read his energy because this is another thing, right? We have that intuition where we can actually pick up on these things, and most of the time women, sometimes we can choose to ignore. And I will hold my hand up. I have chosen to ignore before. But guess what? You can learn from it. And you can, it's like the pheromones or something that men are giving off. You can actually read it, you can sense it. And you can tell when a guy is coming with like F-boy energy, or you can tell when he is coming with more something that I'm also call like daddy energy, which just means more like when a man knows exactly what he wants and he just comes over and gets it. Okay, he just comes over to you, makes his presence known, and he is like all eyes on you. Like that kind of daddy energy is what we all really want to experience. Wow, how long has your cousin been with his wife now? Um, I think they've been married for like 2 years now, or like 2.5 years. Yeah, something like that. I think 2 years. So yeah, very happy, very, very happy for them. And initially, it was kind of like skeptical. You're like, who's my cousin meeting and, getting married so quickly? And then you realize, you know what, this guy is actually so happy and his wife's really happy. They're just literally the cutest. So yeah, you can have great success stories from online, I guess, as well. I can't remember which app they even met on. I don't think it was Tinder. I don't think it was Tinder. I think it was like Match or something, or I don't know. I don't think it was Hinge. I think it was like Match or something like that. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, even regardless, like whether you meet someone online or whether you meet them in person, you still have to look out for certain things. You still have to see what energy they're coming with. Are they doing what they say? And I want to make this very clear because one of my most generous relationships that I've been in was actually with someone who I met online. And yeah, so I would say that, and I mean generous from the first date. And actually no, I've had two like that. I've had two like that have been very generous from date number one, who I met online. So, and this is without like prompting, this is like without these things. And some of them just do it. And when you're meeting someone in person, it doesn't mean that they're going to be better or worse, but you will just be able to read them better and know more so what intentions they have for you. That's what I say. That's what I say. Yeah. And another thing is, a lot of time when a man is, let's say he's leading with his money so much, even from like the first date, you've got to look into that as well, because these are like mini red flags as well, that people are sometimes, this is from my own experience, that they're seeking something specific, but it's not going to be, again, they put you into kind of like a box. It's more like the trophy kind of box, as opposed to the you're really the person who I really want to be with box. So I feel like you get to learn which box you're being put into based on your based on actions of men, how they're treating you and what they're saying and whatnot. So that's how it works. Okay, so I think somebody's trying to chat you guys up. And he wants to know if there are any London ladies in here. Oh, wait. Wait. I've just gotten rid of somebody. How do I get someone back? How do I get someone back? I don't know how to do that. Okay, all right. Whoops. And I actually got rid of somebody else, a subscriber that I have. I still don't know if she's even been able to come back to the channel. This was like a subscriber who was like a loyal viewer, and I literally blocked her by accident. So if you are watching this, send me a message and give me your account name. Maybe I don't know how I can add it back or something. But anyway, so ladies, I would say that, just going back to the title of this, looking into how somebody is treating you, their energy, what they're saying to you, their actions, if they're doing what they say, these are all going to be telling into how your romantic relationship with that person is going to go. And they're also very telling, you know, actions about one's character. And you've got to start listening to your instincts and really paying attention to those pheromones that these men are also pumping out of their pores, because these are going to be telling you, and you're going to be picking up on this with your gut instinct, which is what his intentions are for you. Okay, this is something that I believe very heavily. And if you really start paying attention to this, you can save yourself so much time. And yeah, why would you not want to save yourself time? But anyway, ladies, I'm going to love you and leave you very soon. So if you have any more questions or something, then give them to me now. I've just recorded something. I would love to record another video. And yeah, then I have some bits I guess I want to get on with for the rest of the day. So if you have any questions, give them to me now, and then we can end the live. But I will definitely be doing more lives. I obviously came on yesterday, I've come on today, and I did a couple of weeks ago as well. So for me, lives are something that I think I will start doing, you know, here and there. Yeah, well, I guess no one is in. Yeah, love your videos. Okay, so for me personally, I just feel like yeah, I think that there's nothing wrong with like trying to like shoot your shot and stuff on like YouTube, but I just feel like the plan, like this video, like what we're talking about, women seem to really want in-person approaches, right? So get out there, get off YouTube and get out there and start approaching people in person, and that could be good for you, sir. Okay, but I'm glad that you loved this video. And right, no. See, this is one thing women do not like. Women do not like men saying check me out on my socials or something. This is something women don't like. Okay, well that's good. That's good. So okay, because like we don't even know how old everyone is and blah blah blah. It's better to just get in real life and just do that. Anyway, so okay, you've got some interest. This maybe this could be like my this is online dating. Online dating. ZIVA'S online dating platform. Okay, so Timmy Daisy is interested. There we go. Now there was something I missed. When is the right time to ask for things? That's a good question. Every situation is going to be different. Every situation is going to be different. What I think is that there's no wrong time. There's no wrong time. There's no wrong time. There's just no wrong time. There can be a better time, but there's no wrong time. Because if somebody's just going to say no to something, they're just going to say no to something. Okay, and you're just finding that out sooner rather than later. So there's no real like wrong time. So let's say, for example, you wanted to do it this way. You're meeting up with someone and you just feel like, you know what, I actually want some new clothes. Before you're going on your date, you just mention, look, I don't have anything to wear at all. I want to look really nice for you and I don't have anything to wear. I'm having a meltdown right now. at some point, whether it's on the first date or whether it's on the second, you are going to get taken shopping, or you're going to be given money to be taken shopping. And that is something that's going to happen. And if it doesn't, it's because he was never intending to do that anyway. And this is something that I've come to realize. Also, there are the other kinds of men who are just very much going to be okay, okay, I can't do this like online dating right now. Okay, I cannot do online dating right now. All right, I'm sorry, I just had to put him on a timeout. So ZIVA'S online dating forum. No, get out there in the real world, and that's where you do it. Okay, now where was I? Where was I? Where was I? Okay, so if you're wanting something, another thing you could do is like wait until they're actually like, really, I really like you, I want to be serious with you, I want to just date, I want it to just be us two. Then that's when you say, well, I mean, you like it, then it just makes it less like gamey in a sense, and you're literally just saying, well, for me, I would need you to do this and that, and you know, so I mean, can you do that, you know? And he's going to say yes, or he's going to say no, and that's honestly how it goes. So basically, you just can't lose. And even if you said something the first time and they didn't pick up on it, maybe he's the kind of person that you need to be more direct with. So then you just try, maybe on the third date you can drop something in, or whatever it is. But I just think that there's no real wrong time, but there can be an even better time to do it. So you could, even if you met them online, and you're talking for a few days, you could do it, you know, on the first date, or whatever you want to do. I think that different men are going to be different, they're going to respond differently, and you have to kind of use discernment and weigh up who you're speaking to, how the conversation's going, and like there are lots of different factors that go into when would be a better time, right? But you can never really lose, because they're going to say yes or they're going to say no. You're welcome. Would you deal with someone with children? Yeah, I absolutely British, not yeah. I absolutely would deal with somebody who has children. Yeah, I don't really like care about that. I think the main issue, if somebody does have children, is if they're under a certain age. Like if they have a child that's even maybe under the age of like 10, I think for me that's just more of like a red flag. So as long as they don't have like like totally young children, I think that's okay. But when you've got like two children and they're both under the age of 5, like that's a problem, because what's going on? You know? I think that just really tells you again about looking out at somebody's actions and what they're doing, you know? So yeah, that wouldn't interest me at all. So I think there are limits to ages when, if you do have children, when you're probably going to be like when you're probably going to start dating and whatever. I think for me, somebody who, like one of the guys who I went out with, he had 2 children. One was like 8, and for me that just seemed like kind of young. That seemed kind of young. I would say anything like at least 10 years old and over is okay. And at this point in my life, I would actually expect to meet somebody who already has children, because most people do, you know. I'm more so somebody who is more rare probably at this point, or I don't know, so I don't really know many people, but I'm assuming so. I would kind of expect one to have children. So I wouldn't mind that at all. But I do think that having, let's say you're dating someone and you're on a first date and he mentions he has 2 under 5s, for me, I'm like, I'm just seeing Maury, you know? So I don't know, it sounds like a problem. But also it depends on circumstances. Like if it's a woman, it makes me think that things just went a different way, not the way that she wanted them to, and you know, she's dating, I guess. But for a man, it just makes me think that, you know, are you responsible? So it just makes me start thinking different things, you know. Yeah. Oh, okay, I'm glad you are back, Timmy Daisy, because I thought that I thought I blocked you or something by accident. Okay. I have this guy that treats me so well, but he isn't in the medical field. I have always wanted a man in the medical field. I dated one in the past, but he wasn't so cool. What should I do? Um, I just, I think, I mean, I think you should give it a shot. He treats you really well, but he just isn't doing the job that you like. I guess more like your fetish kind of field that you want a man to be in. I think lots of women do have that, where like for me, I love a good finance guy. That's something that I like the idea of, but I'm not going to write somebody off because they're not in the finance world, you know? So I think it's more about like realizing that sometimes you're not going to have 10 out of 10, and you might have 7 out of 10 of the things that you're wanting. And if someone's treating you well and they're still a professional, you know, they still want something traditional, they understand what comes with dating a woman like you, bingo. And I think that his like what field he is in isn't like of most importance for me personally. And remember, you can like, it doesn't mean that you're going to end up with this person. You can always like get to know him, date him, go on a few dates, and you might meet somebody else. He might not be your forever person. He might even end up being a reason why you end up meeting the person you're going to be with, or who knows, you know. So life can really work in a very interesting way sometimes. And I just think if you are single and somebody treats you well, they are a professional, they're working, they have a head on their shoulders, they are being a man of their word, I think that is the kind of person to give a shot. How do you get over being seen in public with someone old? You go like this. And you will never have looked at the sky so much, because you'll be like looking up instead of looking down and looking at people. No, I would say that if you're going to do it, you just have to do it. And I was doing it not that long ago, where I was out with someone who was 30 years older and probably looked about 40 years older. And yeah, there are looks, there are stares, but for me personally, like I've got to like, when you're getting older like me, you just don't care anymore, and you realize that I am 34. Who is going to tell me anything? And that is just how I feel. So a few years ago, yeah, I might have felt a little bit uncomfortable. You know, like 5-6 years ago, something, whatever, I don't know. But nowadays, absolutely not. If there's somebody who I've really felt like, okay, you are 70, okay, you're 7, it's giving 75, it's giving It's giving a hospital, okay? It's giving hospice. Then I'm not even going to be out with that person anyway, because I just don't feel like I need to do that. I think that there are people who look like they have a couple of years left in them that I feel like I can date. And for me, that I have like an age limit, and I only do what I feel comfortable doing, not anything over that. So, hi, Ari. But the person who I was going out with like a few weeks ago, we were getting so many looks, so many looks, so many looks. And not all of these looks that you're getting, you're welcome, honey. Not all these looks that you're getting are actually negative. They're not negative. And one thing you'll notice is from some people, they are going to be, especially like some religious people and things, they are like sometimes the ones who are looking at you cockeyed. But other people, mostly men, are thinking they're out with their wife, you know, who 15 years older than them, and they're thinking, why isn't that me? And that's what I think. And also other women who are similar to your age who are seeing that, they're thinking, oh gosh, I wonder if he's going to buy her that you know, that Fendi bag that I want, or whatever. Like, people are going to be having different different thoughts, and they're not always going to be negative. And this is something that we have to come to terms with. Just because the age gap is, you know, getting larger, sometimes it's envy, sometimes it's, oh, that older guy was hitting on me the other week, maybe I should have gone out with him, that could have been me. Or because as soon as you see that dynamic, you know that, okay, she doesn't have to pay for things. You know that, okay, are they going shopping right now? You know that you're not going out to dinner and having to pull out your, you know, your card holder. So yeah, you just know that. I mean, for me, even like if I'm dating somebody who is not that much older, they're still going to pay for everything. And I have not had like a situation where I have to pay for anything since I started my femininity journey. Let's just say that. And this is with somebody who could be my own age, all the way up until the 60s. It's just not going to happen. And if it ever did, I would vomit and they would never see me again. So the topic was the topic was, what was the topic? The topic was about how you're being treated. That's what it was about. But you just have to like rewind and go back to the beginning, and then you'll see all of the discussions. And then we've been having a good time. We've also had a dating forum. Oh, I think the mute's come off. Get that bag, honey. Don't be funny with my money, honey. If you've just started talking and he really liked you, and Valentine's Day is approaching, should you expect from him or wait till you start dating officially? I would say that you should expect something, actually, and you should expect something, because this is a man who is speaking to you in a romantic way, hoping to get you on your back at some point. Let's just be completely honest. That is what he's wanting. And of course, you're not going to go there. But that is something that is in his mind. At some stage, that is an intention. And if that is any kind of intention, it means that there is a romantic connection that will possibly be born. And if a romantic connection is possibly going to be born, then guess what? A romantic Valentine's Day gift also needs to be born. So for me, I think that this is something that should be expected. If you're speaking to any man at this stage, present. And if you don't, can I would see, this is another thing that would make me literally vomit. If I don't get a gift on Valentine's Day, it's kind of like, can you imagine like being a man, you're kind of like, you have a woman, you know, in your life that you're kind of speaking to, or that you want to take seriously, or this and that, and you just intentionally choose not to get her something, even flowers. No, no. That's like a spit in the face. I feel like it's just embarrassing. So you should definitely expect something. And in fact, if he doesn't try to meet you, he might even try to meet you after Valentine's Day, so he doesn't have to get you anything. Let's see what he does. That would be very interesting. And I think you should actually say something like, you know, about missing Valentine's Day, and that, you know, you kind of you know, you thought that you would have done something, and then he's going to feel like, oh, he needs to get back in your good books because you felt like you were going to go out or do something on Valentine's Day. And you can say, well, I mean, there's something else I was eyeing up, and you know, that I like the look of, for, you know, if you wanted to get me something now, and see what happens, because you have nothing to lose. But what you do have to lose is wasting time on somebody who is being strategic and trying to not have to get you something for Valentine's Day. Oh, I got distracted. Yes, we had some online dating, didn't we? Okay. Wait, where is it? Sophie, I'm looking. I'm not seeing it. I can't see your question. Can you type it again, please, Sophie? I can't see it. What's your suggestion for a beautiful girl who stopped dating months ago because something bad happened to her, and now she would love to start again with higher standards and confidence than before? My advice is that, like, I guess you kind of said it, like, you want to start again, you have higher standards and more confidence. So that's incredible, and that's where to start, really. So for me, if that was me, first of all, I'm sorry that something bad happened to you. I'm not sure what that was. But I'm glad that you are ready to get back in the saddle and get back to your life, and you know, you want to move forward. So I think that it's about really just realizing that you put yourself first and foremost, always. Okay? No man is ever going to fulfill you, and you kind of move accordingly, knowing that, okay, what are the most important things to me? Because I think that this is something that we actually have to know. This is something I kind of touched on in yesterday's live, which is knowing the things that you definitely want from somebody, what you expect, and the things that you know that you cannot go without. So for me, it is being with someone who I can have respect for. Okay, this is a really big thing because it's difficult to respect people nowadays, and especially men, you know, it's very difficult to do that. So being able to find someone you can actually respect, who is reliable, you know, and who understands, if you want something traditional, they understand that and they are acting accordingly. these are my things that I cannot do without. So you have to know what are the things that you cannot do without. You have to know exactly what they are. And if you meet somebody and they're just not those things, then just move away and go on to the next person and keep going, because you're going to find those things in somebody. Because I do just think that there is like somebody out there for everyone. But I also do think that sometimes you want 10 things and you might get 6 or 7 out of those 10 things. So you have to know which are the most important things to me, and only date, you know, this is your new dating life now that you're starting again, and you only date people who have those things that you're wanting. And like you said, your confidence, new standards, so keep that at the forefront of your mind and don't let it slip. You meet someone, you think, oh my gosh, he's really sweet, blah blah blah, and you start putting him first and thinking about him more every day than you think about yourself. I think we have to like never get to that point, and we have to put ourselves first as women, and this is the best way to be. I think it's nice to meet someone who you care about and who you can have, you know, a great bond with, but you have to wake up for yourself and feel like me. It's about me. It's about me. Do what makes you happy. Okay, is he making me happy? You have to live your life like this, because otherwise in a split second it's all about the other person and it can be hard to to get it back. Okay, so start as you mean to go on. Let it be about you, your happiness first and foremost, and meet people who have those standards that you have to have, and you don't entertain anything else. Okay, so Ziva, this guy texting me said women are so materialistic nowadays that he'd rather spend 4K on a holiday. Yeah, of course he wants to spend 4K on a holiday because he thinks, okay, because he thinks that he's going to get the goodies, not my goodies. Anyway, I'm literally singing Sierra in my head, but he thinks that it's going to be a good time. So yeah, I'm sure he would much rather spend 4K on a holiday and be sharing a room. But that's not how the cookie crumbles, so I just can you actually imagine like having a son, raising them, having a son, carrying them for 9 months, giving birth to them, raising them, and then they turn out saying things like this to women? This is like beyond me. I just can't even imagine that. I literally cannot even imagine it. If I have sons, I do not want them to be like this at all. This is like really tacky to me. This is really tacky. And it's funny because men, they want you to look nice. They want you to look good. They want all of that. And they want you to put effort in. They want you to be a materialistic woman who cares about the way she looks. They want all of that because they want to be attracted to you. And then the moment you want them to help you with your materialistic ways that they like, they start speaking about holidays. No. My question was, would you mind role-playing responses to some scenarios if we explain the situation or conversation we're experiencing? You've done some informative, amusing role plays in previous videos. Yeah, I guess I don't mind. I guess I don't mind that. But also with some things like role plays and stuff, you have to like put your own personality in there, you know? Like there are some things like for me, but yeah, sure ahead. Sure, go ahead. But there are situations like for me where I can just say things because it's more my personality. So let's say I want a dress from Self-Portrait. Let's say I would just say, oh, can you give me X, Y, and Z for this dress that I want? That's what I would just do it, and I just don't think that there's anything wrong with it. They're going to say yes or they're going to say no, and I don't know why they would say no. Okay, so I don't feel like you have to sometimes overthink everything. Sometimes you just ask them, or maybe it's about something else, so then yeah, whatever. But yeah, sure, give me the scenario and I will say what I would say if that were me. He would also benefit during a holiday. No, the point is that he thinks he could potentially, possibly, maybe, perhaps benefit from a holiday. That's the point, okay? And it's about him trying to be conniving to get this lady on a holiday sharing a room. That's what it's about. Definitely. So yeah, I agree. He just wants to benefit from that. And from a bag, he won't fully benefit. I get it. I agree. That's literally what he thinks. He's delusional. He's delusional. No, bag, then I'll think about it. And every single time he brings up his silly holiday, you never think about it. Just because he went and worded it like that. You don't even want to go away with him anymore. Like, even if you actually felt like, I could really do with a holiday, he seems like a decent person, wouldn't mind going away with him. Now you don't even want to even think about thinking about it. So, roleplay scenario. You've met someone at a cafe, he approached you. What kind of questions might you ask to find out if he's generous? First of all, I feel like I get it. I get that. So you want to know, if is he going to be generous? Is he going to like pay my bills? Is he going to do that? Timmy Daisy, thank you so much for your money gift. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Ziva. You have helped me in so many ways. I'm so glued to your channel. Oh, I'm loving that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, honey. Okay, so to find out if somebody is generous, first of all, he's going to show you in actions, because for me, men can do any talking, but it's what they're showing you that actually counts. I've had people talk the talk of their lives and then they're walking like not. it's not adding up. Okay, they're talking like this and they're walking like this. And it's just not adding up. So I think it's more about watching what he's doing. And I remember doing a video about this in, I think, 2021. And I said, he you know, he's generous if, and I went and I spoke about this and I basically said with his actions. So if someone is paying for the meal, if he's not being stingy in terms of there's a set menu and you must order from that, these are all of the things that you need to look out for. If he's being stingy in terms of instead of buying a bottle of wine, maybe he's going by the glass. Fair enough, sometimes people don't want to drink to buy a bottle, but at the end of the day, two people having one bottle of wine is only 2 glasses of wine. It's not a big deal, and you're not going, it's not like a full-on boozy night. So for me, and thank you again for that donation, Timmy, I really appreciate that. So for me, it's about looking at their actions on the course of that date, they're going to be saying some things to you as well. Like they'll be speaking to you about their lifestyle, about some of their achievements, about what they do for work, where they live, maybe speaking to you about if they've boarded, or, you know, like upbringing, schools that they've been to. All of these things will let you know about the money aspect, and how they're treating you will let you know about the generosity aspect as well. One thing also that I've noticed is that sometimes when a man doesn't want to be generous, then he will make that known, okay? Because it's more like a game plan. So he will come out with something silly like, my last girlfriend was using me, so I have to be really careful this time. I want to make sure that, you know, women are wanting me for me. So that's like an Amber Alert. That he is just playing games. So I think that you can, to answer your question in like a shorter way, you can know if they are not generous by them saying something along those lines, which is of something bad that happened to them, something that scarred them when they were generous to somebody, and now, you know, they were so hurt by them, whatever. Then you'll know that they're not generous. When they're not saying that, and they're not afraid to pay for a bottle of wine, they're not afraid to pay for like an expensive steak, or and you're getting sides and you're having starters, and, you know, you're doing like it, like you can feel on a dinner date when a man doesn't have to think about the money. Okay, you can actually just feel it. You can tell. You can order whatever you want. He just doesn't care about it. When the bill comes, he looks at it briefly. When he looks at it like this, there might be a problem in the bank. So these are different ways for you to kind of assess that. There's also a demeanor that men with money will have over men who are pretending to have it. They know how to act in certain environments, and they have like this confident aura around them that is very like relaxing in a sense, I'd say, because they're just like not putting on at all. So yeah. So to answer, I don't feel like I actually answered your question. You said, what questions can you ask to find out if he's generous? You could ask questions like finding out about his, like, how he grew up, what he's doing for work, and yeah, that's what I would say. That's what I would say. Also, you could do things like compliment his jacket or his shirt that he's wearing and say, oh, where's this from? This is really nice. And you're kind of understanding where he goes shopping as well. And you could even say something if he says, oh, you know, I bought it, it's a Prada shirt or whatever, then you could say, oh my gosh, I would love to have like some Prada ready to wear. I saw something that was absolutely gorgeous, blah, 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 but, you know, definitely out of my price range. And just wait and see what he says. Just wait and see what he says. Is he going to say, well, maybe I'll take you there? You know, or do you have the link of you know, the item, or you know, this and that? Or, you know, if he wants to get you something, then he's going to bring it up, because you have just given him an avenue to I want you to take this the right way, but for him, you've given him like you've given him the French Connection equation. Okay, so he thinks that, okay, if I do that, then okay, it could be all go, go, go. So, and he wants to impress you, you know, he wants to keep you happy right now. So he might just respond in a way that makes you think that, okay, yeah, he's going to take me shopping. So that's kind of how to do it. Something like really subtle like that, like seeing where he goes shopping, and then making like kind of reference. Also something I wouldn't mention about a man's watch. I wouldn't do that. Or unless you're going to say something like, you know, that you like the colorway on his watch or something. Otherwise, I wouldn't actually bring up a watch at all. But unless it's about the colorway and you genuinely just think that it's like really cool, then fair enough. But if it, you know, otherwise it just can come off like he will know what you're doing. So you want it to be in a more subtle way, which is why I think that the jacket or like the shirt is like a good option. It's a good way to kind of get in there with where he goes shopping and imply that, you know, you couldn't afford that and that you would love something from there, and then you're getting to see his response. So yeah. Yeah, I agree, XPN. Men will tell you who they are if you listen and watch them carefully. I agree. Yes. Okay, well, how do you reassure that you like them? I always get told I'm hard to read. Yeah, I'm like that as well. I get told that I'm hard to read or like an enigma. I think that they like it. The only thing that they don't like is that they don't know how close they are to what they want. So it's fine. I don't think you need to reassure anybody. Anything, you've got to keep them on their toes, and you can say things like, well, I wouldn't be here if I didn't like you. I would be somewhere else. You're still being an enigma. But you're giving them the reassurance that they apparently need. I think the only time when I feel like we've got to kind of play a bit hard to get, I really do. I think it's good to, like for me, I think I am naturally a bit more reserved, and I think that it has been a good thing for me. I think sometimes it can be a hindrance, but most of the time I think that it's actually a good thing, and it makes them need to work a bit harder. They can't read you, and I think that it keeps them on their toes a bit more and can give them a bit of a sense of danger, because they don't know what you're thinking. They don't know, does she really like me? You know, does she really like me? Like, what's going on? They don't fully know what's going on. So it does give them that sense of uncertainty. And if they're meeting up with someone who's all over them all the time, oh my God, baby, I love you so much. It's like, okay, but where's the one who's actually a challenge? And they're going to find that a lot more interesting, because the way that their minds work is that men are very logical, they're very pragmatic, and when they find something that is outside of their norms, okay, that they cannot really find a solution to, they're going to be more enamored with it, they're going to be more interested with it, and it's going to be more captivating for them. Probably at some point, if you have a ring on your finger, then okay, you can succumb a tiny bit, you know, okay, you're my man, blah blah blah. But at the same time, you still want to keep some of that mystery, and you just never want that to fully go. For me, that's how I feel. So I think that you being enigmatic and whatnot and hard to read is a good thing. You can ask whenever you want to, and it's up to them if they say yes or if they say no. It's up to them if they say yes or if they say no. And so let's just go back to the topic first of all. So this topic was about how you're being treated, but how is he treating you? Or but how how are you being treated by him? I think that's what it's titled. So this is the most important thing. And one thing that I've taken away from this live stream is that women want men who are really pouring into them. They want a man who is being generous, being thoughtful, and doing something nice for you, which is like to help you out with maybe some of your bills in life, or to help you out and buy you something that you like the look of. And this is something that women like, and I just don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that we're supposed to want things, and if a man really wants to put a smile on your face, if he wants to make you happy, then these are things that he's going to do. He's going to pull his finger out and he's going to get it done. And if you are asking someone for something and they decide to say no, or they say yes and then it never happens, then you have to look at the way you're being treated. You see that, okay, he's not a man of his word, or he doesn't want to do whatever it takes to put a smile on my face. And you can kind of get the gist of where things are probably going, or where things are probably never going. And this is a good indication for you, because it allows you to see where you actually stand with somebody. When you are like getting to know someone, or you're dating, and they are not being a man of their word, they're not treating you well, they're not going above and beyond and doing everything that you feel like, gosh, this is what I would love a man to be doing. If he isn't doing those things, he probably would be doing it for somebody who he was fully like all over. And this is something we have to remember as well. Okay, so if he isn't doing what you need him to be doing, maybe he just doesn't want to do it for you, right? And if that's the case, then okay, that's also a good indicator, so you don't waste so much time. But it's definitely worth like voicing. If there's something you want, just voice it. This is the world, okay? There's a grown man, you want to ask him for something, ask him. If he says no, he says no. If he says yes, he says yes. If there is like a theatre show you want to go to see, you know, tell him if he wants to take you, he's going to take you. If he doesn't take you, then he doesn't take you, and then you probably won't see him again. So I feel like you can never really lose. You should voice your opinion. If there's something that you're wanting, there's someone you're dating, then of course you're going to ask them, right? And if they're stepping into your life, they want to be that man who you go to with things and for things, and they want to be that solution person for you in your life and take care of you, then this is expected. And men know that you're going to ask for things. Some of them just hope that you don't do it. Some of them just hope you don't have the guts to do it, but they know you're going to ask for things. They know that you want things. They know that they need to be a man of their word, and that that's what women want. And if they're not doing that, then they're trying to show you with their actions that they aren't that into you. And that's why women really have to look at men's actions, what they're doing, what they're showing you, not what they're saying, and literally how they're talking to you. Are they telling everyone about you, telling all of their friends, all of their family about you? Are they so proud of you? When you guys go out, are they holding your hand like they're so proud to be out with you? Okay, you don't have to go out with them thinking, gosh, is he going to actually ask me to pay for this? You never have a doubt in your mind. You know he has your back. You know that you feel safe around him. You know that he wants to protect you. You know that he will do anything it takes to put a smile on your face. This is the kind of person that you actually want around, and these are the things to look out for something that is actually positive in a romantic situation. So on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you here, and thank you so much for joining me and listening to this live. And shout out to Timmy Daisy again. Thank you so much for your money gift, and I will see you ladies in my next video. Mwah. Bye.